Dear students, welcome to Tungal online classes. Today I am going to start with the next part of the chapter, that is last part of the female reproductive system, that is external genitalia. Right? So let us start with the external genitalia. So what is this external genitalia? That consisting of, let us discuss now. So this external genitalia mainly consisting of certain parts, right? What are those parts? Let us draw the diagram and understand it. Okay. So first of all, it contains mons pubis. It contains mons pubis itself, right? So first one, and after this one, there it contains two fleshy folds of the skin, right? And these are called as labia majora. And inside this labia majora, there a thin fold of the skin that we come across here, and those thin fold of the skin are known as right labia minora, at the junction of which you will find this kind of an erectile tissue over here, and this region itself is called as a vestibule, and inside the vestibule there you come across two openings. One is urethral orifice and the second one is vaginal orifice. And this vaginal orifice itself is partially uncovered with a thin membrane called as hymen. Okay, so this is how the external genitalia that you come across here, and this region itself you come across, this is porchite and this is the anal region, and the distance between these two itself is said to be as a specialized structure, right? Later I will so label all these one by one. Okay, so this is how there we come across the female external genitalia, right? So we should label them very clearly. Okay, this is how the female external genitalia that you come across. So in this one, so this part itself is said to be as this is called as mons pubis, mons pubis, and these are said to be as pubic hair, and these are called as labia majora, and these are called as labia minora, and this one is known as the clitoris, and this one is known as urethral orifice, and this one is known as vaginal orifice, and this is the region what we call it as is porchete. And this is called as perineum, and this is known as anus. So these are the parts that we come across over here one by one. I have labeled here very clearly, so I hope you might have observed them, right? So you can observe them, you can easily understand them. I'm going to explain one by one now itself, right? So the first one, mons pubis. So what are the parts that we come across here? One by one I shall write here. One is mons pubis. What is this mons pubis? So this region itself is said to be as mons pubis. So this is a dome shaped, right? This is a dome shaped fatty area which is uncovered with the skin. Hence it is very smooth in nature, right? So that is called as mons pubis. It is an anterior most part of external genitalia, which is a fatty area covered with skin, which is very smooth enough, right? Because it is a fatty area that you come across, and that fatty area which is covered with the skin, hence it is very smooth area, right? And it is uncovered with not only with the skin, so but also the pubic hairs that you come across here. You are finding over here pubic hairs over here, right? And this is about the mons pubis. This is the dome shaped area that we come across on the anterior most part of. This is the posterior most part of the external genitalia. Next one. So these are thick fleshy folds of the skin whatever we come across, and this thick fold of a skin itself is called as labia majora. What it is called as labia majora. Then what is the second part of this external genitalia itself is labia majora is the second part. So it is nothing but it is a thick fold of skin that uncovers, right? That uncovers so the vaginal part, right? So this is labia majora, thick fold of the skin thick, very smooth fold of the skin that we come across over here, it is called as labia majora, right? So this is one thing. And the next one here you are finding over here, this is a very thin fold of the skin that you come across here, and that thin fold of the skin itself is called as what? Labia minora. This one as well as this one. So this is called as labia minora. Next, third part of this one is labia minora, right? So this is a thin fleshy fold of skin, right? So thick, this is thin fleshy fold of the skin. This is also fleshy in nature, this is also fleshy in nature, right? So fleshy fold of the skin that you come across, which lies inside the labia majora, which lies inside the labia majora. So that thin fleshy fold of the skin is called as labia minora, right? This is also one more point to be noted over here. So then first one is mons pubis, second one is labia majora, labia minora. So all these are the things that we studied now. So come to the inner part of this labia minora itself is called as vestibule. What is this region called as? Vestibule. I have so made a little more wider, right? So as to clear you people, right? So this area itself is called as vestibule. What it is known as? Vestibule it is. And that area which is said to be as a vestibule, inside which two openings that you come across over here. So inside which two openings that you come across over here, one opening is called as urethral orifice. What is the name of the, so one opening, the anterior-most opening, it is called as the urethral orifice, and this one is called as the vaginal orifice, right? This opening is called as vaginal orifice, and this opening is called as urethral orifice. Through the urethral orifice that passes the urine, right? And the vaginal orifice is separate. So it is a copulatory organ. It is an opening for the vagina. So it is a copulatory organ. Here the passage for the urine and the another passage is here. So both the passages are separate over here. Hence it is not called as urinogenital tract. Female reproductive tract, so itself is not said to be as urinogenital tract. So it is a separate one. In case of male, urethra acts as the urinogenital tract. Why? Because it is passing not only the gametes but also the urine. Hence it is called as urinogenital tract, but it is not urinogenital tract. So this must be very clear to you people, right? So I hope you have understood it, right? So here a black top structure what I am showing here itself is called as clitoris. What it is known as clitoris is also very important one. It is homologous to the glans penis in case of male. So it is homologous to the glans penis. Why? Because it is also short thickened. So erectile tissue it is. Short thickened erectile tissue during sexual intercourse, it also erects, but it does not have any opening like urethral meatus or something else. That is why this is not the penis. But in general we call this clitoris as the female penis, right? What it is called as female penis. This is more important point to be noted over here. And this clitoris itself is said to be as female penis. It is homologous to glans penis. It is homologous to glans penis and it is an erectile tissue itself, right? So this is more important. It is lying on the anterior part of the labia minora, right? It is lying on the anterior part of the labia minora. This is also one more point to be noted. And come to the vestibular region, right? Once again you come to the vestibular region. Here in the vestibule means in between the labia minora there is an area called as vestibule, and in that vestibule two openings are there. One is called as urethral orifice and the second one is vaginal orifice. So around this urethral orifice you will find some of the sebaceous glands on either sides. On either sides you will find some of the sebaceous glands, right? And these sebaceous glands, so these sebaceous glands are called as lesser vestibular glands. What these are named as? Lesser vestibular glands. Lesser vestibular glands, right? Lesser vestibular glands, these are named as, and these lesser vestibular glands are also named as paraurethral glands, right? What these are named as? Paraurethral glands. These are also named as, right, sebaceous glands. And simultaneously there are some glands, a pair of glands that you come across on either sides of this vaginal orifice. There are a pair of glands that you come across on either sides of the vaginal orifice, and these glands are known as Bartholin's glands. These glands are known as Bartholin's glands. So these Bartholin's glands are homologous to, means similar to, right? The Cowper's glands are bulbourethral glands of the males. Point to be noted, a very important point it is. So these glands are similar to or homologous to the bulbourethral glands of male reproductive system, right? So are the Cowper's glands. And these secretion of these glands is also similar, means it is also secreting the mucus which help in lubrication during sexual intercourse, right? So it also help in doing the same job as if the secretion of the bulbourethral glands, right? So this is also more important point for NEET examination. So in females, the accessory glands are Bartholin glands, right? So these are called as greater vestibular glands. So what these are named as? Greater vestibular glands. These are named as. Lesser vestibular glands are present on either sides of the urethral orifice, and on the either sides of the vaginal orifice a pair of glands are present. They are called as Bartholin glands. They are the accessory glands in case of females, right? So this is the fact what you should know regarding what this, so external genitalia. And one more important point to be noted over here. What is that is, see here, these thin folds of a skin, fleshy folds of the skin, they join at one region and continue over here, and this continued part or the region where these labia minora joins themselves, and that region is called as fourchette. What it is known as? Fourchette. And fourchette is followed by the anus, but little bit distance is there from the fourchette as well as the anus, right? And that distance is called as perineum. Already have labeled here perineum, right? Perineum is there. Anus is the terminal part, right, that we come across over here. But you must remember, this is the only the external genitalia in case of the female, right? So this is all about the external genitalia in case of female. And so one more point we noted over here. So this female reproductive system, I hope you may think that it ends here. No, one more paired structures are there. They are also considered as the female reproductive system or female reproductive part. So they are nothing but a pair of mammary glands. So it is an indication of all the mammals. Mammals, they bear the breast. Breast are nothing but mammary glands. These are nothing but modified sweat glands. But through these mammary glands, all the mammals will feed their young ones, right? They feed their young ones. Hence, so after the parturition or after the delivery of the baby, the nourishment of the baby is being done by these paired breast or paired mammary glands present in the females at the chest part. Whatever we come across, they are also considered as a part of the female reproductive system. That's why it is too essential for us to learn those breast or the mammary glands in case of female.